In a case that's gripped social media and sparked intense debate about healthcare in America, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione stands accused of the assassination-style killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. But how did a privileged Ivy League graduate end up as the alleged perpetrator of one of the most shocking murders of 2024? And is he a victim of the system, which social media is right in defending? Or is he a cold-blooded killer who must face the consequences? Let's dive in. On Wednesday, December 4th, 2024, Brian Thompson was headed to an investors conference at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan when he was gunned down in what police describe as an assassination-style killing. Surveillance footage captured the shooter, who immediately fled the scene on a bicycle, disappearing into Central Park before taking a cab and later boarding a bus out of New York. The murder weapon? A 3D-printed ghost gun with a suppressor, untraceable and assembled by hand. This detail alone suggests premeditation and technical knowledge, fitting the profile of the suspect who would later be identified. Teams of investigators were initially seen diving in Central Park waters, searching for the weapon, but it would later be found in the suspect's possession at the time of his arrest. After a 6-day manhunt and a combined $60,000 reward offering, Mangione's downfall came from an unexpected Quarter A McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. In a twist that would later spark social media outrage, an alert customer recognized him from widely circulated NYPD surveillance images and notified employees, who called 911.
The officer quickly recognized the male as the suspect from the shooting, and within several seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently, and that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect.
When police approached Mangione, his reaction was telling. According to officers, he became visibly nervous and started shaking when asked if he'd recently been in New York City. Along with the ghost gun and fake IDs, police discovered something even more chilling, a handwritten manifesto declaring, "These parasites had it coming." The document went on to say, "I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done." He is now in jail, charged with second-degree awaiting trial. Luigi Mangione's background reads like a success story of the American dream. He graduated as valedictorian from the prestigious Gilman School in Baltimore, where annual tuition costs around $37,000. At Gilman, he wasn't just academically successful. He competed on the wrestling team and showed a passion for robotics and computer science.
He was like a leader of clubs. He was in many clubs. He was also like a soccer player as well. He played baseball.
His graduation speech emphasized innovation and challenging the status quo, themes that would take on a darker significance in light of recent events. After Gilman, Mangione's trajectory continued upward at the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned both bachelor's and master's degrees in computer science with a specialization in artificial intelligence and a minor in mathematics. During his time at Penn, he was actively involved in campus life, joining the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity and co-founding a game development club. His professional experience included internships at prestigious companies like Firaxis Games, known for creating the popular Civilization video game series. The family background adds another layer of privilege to this story. The Mangiones are well established in the Baltimore area, with significant business holdings that span real estate, healthcare, and hospitality. His late grandfather, Nicholas Mangione Sr., built a self-made fortune through real estate development, including the purchase and transformation of Turf Valley Country Club in 1978 and the acquisition of Hayfields Country Club in 1986. The family empire extends to Lauren Healthcare Services, a chain of senior rehabilitation centers, and even includes ownership of local radio station WCBM. The plot twist in Mangione's story appears to center around a severe spinal injury that required surgery last year. According to his former roommate RJ Martin, this wasn't just any back pain, it was debilitating. Even a basic surfing lesson reportedly left him bedridden for a week. Martin recalled seeing very troubling images of screws and hardware in Mangione's spine.
He sent me some images of his x-rays post-surgery. It's those kinds of images, I think some of them are already out there, that just make you cringe. You know, you look at 3-4 inch screws into somebody's spine. And
Martin noted that his friend had always been thoughtful and considerate, and that he hadn't noticed any red flags in his behavior before his health issues.
Breaks your heart, you know, when you know your friends are going through something like that. The pain.
Martin was not the only one to notice Luigi was slowly retreating into a world of his own.
A lot of people that I went to high school with that were a little bit closer to him said they lost contact with him about like a year and a half ago.
The physical isolation soon led to social withdrawal. Friends began posting increasingly worried messages on social media. "Nobody has heard from you in months," read one post from October. Another from July stated, "I don't know if you're okay or just in a super isolated place and have no service." Even wedding-related commitments went unanswered, with one friend posting, "You made commitments to me for my wedding, and if you can't honor them, I need to know so I can plan accordingly." The situation became so concerning that his mother filed a missing persons report in November. During this period of isolation, Mangione's online activity took a disturbing turn. His Goodreads account showed him rating and praising the Unabomber's manifesto, writing that it was clearly written by a mathematics prodigy and that it was impossible to ignore how prescient many of the predictions about modern society turned out. He also reposted philosophical quotes about society's sickness, including one from J. Krishnamurti: "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society."
My initial reactions were just shock, surprise, and I just would never expect someone who went to our school to, be involved in this.
The internet's response to this case has been unprecedented. Within hours of his arrest, Mangione's Instagram followers exploded from 827 to over 71,000. Before the platform suspended his account, his following grew from 64 to more than 320,000. The McDonald's where he was caught became a target, flooded with one-star reviews calling employees snitches and rats. The hashtag #FreeLuigi Mangione started trending, while the book Delay, Deny, Defend about insurance industry tactics shot to #2 on Amazon's nonfiction bestsellers list. The public response appears to be driven by three main factors. First, there's the healthcare angle. Many view this as a twisted form of vigilante justice against America's healthcare system. The words found on shell casings near the crime scene, delay, deny, defend, resonated deeply with people's frustrations about insurance companies. Some supporters even hung a banner above I-83 with the words, "Deny, defend, oppose healthcare for all," forcing Amazon to pull related merchandise from their platform. Second, there's the undeniable influence of what psychologists call the halo effect. Social media users frequently reference Mangione's appearance, calling him everything from Ivy League hottie to attractive killer. As one TikTok user candidly admitted, people are giving him leeway because they are fantasizing about him. This superficial factor has contributed significantly to the online narrative surrounding the case. Third, the contrast between Mangione's privileged background and his apparent stand against corporate America has created a warped Robin Hood narrative. Social media posts call him our vigilante and the Robin Hood we never knew we needed. Some users have even claimed to have listened to Luigi's manifesto 3 times and cried, describing it as beautiful. The romanticization of this case has prompted strong pushback from law enforcement and public officials. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro delivered a powerful statement. "I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, but I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most." He emphasized repeatedly,
"He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning. This killer was not a hero. He should not be hailed."
The case sits at the intersection of multiple American crises. It highlights the growing frustration with the healthcare system, the increasing alienation of young, educated individuals, the dangerous romanticization of violence through social media, and the accessibility of 3D printed weapons. The public response also raises troubling questions about how social media can transform alleged criminals into folk heroes based on superficial factors and perceived grievances. Luigi Mangione is currently behind bars at Blair County Prison in Altoona, Pennsylvania, awaiting extradition to New York. He faces charges of second-degree murder, gun offenses, and forgery in New York, along with additional charges in Pennsylvania, including forgery, carrying a firearm without a license, tampering with identification, possessing instruments of a crime, and providing false identification to law enforcement authorities. If convicted of the murder charge alone, he could face 15 to 25 years to life in prison. His first court appearance was marked by dramatic behavior, with reports of him shouting and resisting resisting, behavior that his former roommate R.J. Martin found completely at odds with the good, thoughtful, humble, good listener he knew. Martin emphasized that the Mangione he knew could lead a conversation, but at the same time listened more than he spoke, and was somebody who really cared about those around him and had a larger mind that was socially conscious. The case raises haunting questions about mental health, healthcare reform, and the power of social media to shape narratives. Was Mangione a cold-blooded killer who used healthcare as an excuse, a troubled mind warped by isolation and pain, or something in between? His former roommate suggested that chronic pain might have played a crucial role, noting that when somebody's suffering, the way they think about themselves and the world gets warped drastically. What's clear is that this case has struck a nerve in American society. Whether Mangione intended it or not, his alleged actions have become a dark symbol of the frustration many feel toward the healthcare system. But as Governor Shapiro reminded us, no amount of systemic problems justifies taking a human life. As this case moves toward trial, it serves as a mirror reflecting multiple fractures in American society and the sometimes disturbing ways we process them through social media. The real tragedy? 2 lives effectively ended that Wednesday morning. Thompson's through violence and Mangione's through his alleged choices. For a young man who once urged his graduating class to challenge the world around us, this wasn't the challenge anyone expected. Hey, thanks a bunch for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know your take on this. Is Luigi Mangione a monster made by a system that failed him? What are the appropriate consequences for his crime? Before you go, make sure you like and subscribe. All right, catch you soon. Stay safe.